Okay. All right. Now I got you. We recording now. So go ahead.
Hey, how are you guys doing today? Thank you so much, Dion, for having me on. I'm excited. I am actually still out and about. Today is one of my dear friends and her husband's. Their birthdays are 2 days apart, two Leos. Can you imagine that, right? And they're having a celebration. And I said, oh, well, I might as well stick around here because I'll never make it home. It's about 50 minutes away. So I do apologize for not being on my laptop, so I hope you guys can hear me on my phone okay. Um, I'm honored. As you guys already know, Dion is a powerhouse herself. She's an amazing, amazing real estate coach. So you guys are in the right place at the right time, and that's half the battle, right? Today, Dion asked me to come on and talk to you guys about goal setting, and not just goal setting, because a lot of the brokerages that you come across, a lot of the training that you come across from Tom Ferry to all the big name trainers, they're going to just dive right into the numbers. Okay. So it takes so many calls to get so many appointments, to get so many listings, to get so many closings. That's a big part of it. But one of the biggest things that I've found, because I've actually been a broker since 2005, and I've managed thousands of agents at this point, one of the things that I've always recognized is that if we don't know why we're getting up doing this every day, then we're already lost. And so your why is really, really big. And you have to sit down, and not just you, but if you have a life partner, if you have a husband, or if you have children who are of a significant age that may help you make decisions, you guys got to talk about, why am I doing this every day? What are the things that I want to achieve with this income that I'm going to get from taking this great training from Dion, right? Because if you literally take the steps that she aligns for you, and you have a why, and you understand why you need to do this, it's going to drive you to get up every day. That snooze button that sometimes we hit 3 and 4 times, you're not going to want to hit that snooze button because you got a big why. So what do I mean by that? For some people, your why to get in the I'm sorry, my phone is ringing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. And so for others, it is, I want to start a new business. For others, they just want to be debt free. For others, they just have a set amount of income they want to make each year to be comfortable. You have to figure out what that is for you and your family. And this is really, really important. Dion, I don't have my laptop because I really did want to share that first page that we do with the group. I don't know if you still have it,
I
or
do.
and just let me know when you find it and we can
Okay.
share it with them. Um, and what I found, you guys, I'm second generation. My mother was a real estate broker. So she owned a real estate company, a mortgage company, an insurance company. And so she told me my whole life, I want you to follow my footsteps. I want you to sell real estate. But I didn't have a real why. And to me, it was like, man, you're running around with all these people and doing all this stuff. Like, I don't want to do that. I didn't have a why to connect to it. But as I got older, I realized that this industry that I chose to be in has no ceiling. The income potential is unlimited. And I mean that, you guys, unlimited. Once you learn the business and you understand that all you have to do is leverage a little bit of help and leverage other people, your income is unlimited. And I've met people, you guys, whose gross commissioned income annually is $2 and $3 million. Not $2 and $3 million that they've sold worth of real estate. I mean, they're bringing home to their families $2 and $3 million a year from managing their real estate sales business, not the rehab business, not the burn, not the buy and hold. I mean, just in real estate sales. So everybody on this call can do that, but you can't do it without a plan. And so goal setting is really, really important. And it's a commitment to yourself. It's a commitment to your family. There are so many things that get in our way when we get up every day and we have a plan in our head. But if your why is strong enough, you'll figure out how to blast right through those things to accomplish your goals. So I want to ask everybody on the call, since we have a nice cozy group of people, what is your why? What made you get into real estate? Why are you on this call tonight? I don't know if Dion has actually asked you that today, but let's open our mics. Let's talk about it. What is your big why? Why are you here?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my why, my first why is I want to build a legacy.
Okay.
You know, I want to be a chain breaker in my family, and I want to actually, it's deep in my heart to want to help my family. So everything that I do is not just surrounded around me. I am a factor in it, but I see people around me and I want to be able to enlighten them. I want to be able to, you know, just be for them. Finances is a factor, like you said, to, you know, be financially free. And lifestyle. There's a certain lifestyle that I want to live to just enjoy life and be happy. And I know money's not everything, but it is a factor in allowing that, like to be able to travel and, you know, see the world. And, you know, even simple as just hanging out, spending time with family and going places and doing things that will actually, you know, just allow you to just enjoy life.
Absolutely. Those are great reasons to be consistent in this business, right? Anybody else want to share with us what they want to accomplish with this real estate income that you're about to make? What is it that you want to do? Who wants to share?
I'll
I
go.
think it's Danielle. Go ahead, Danielle.
Hey, so my why is of course financial freedom, but the financial freedom, so I have the time and options to pick and choose what I want to do when I want to do it. That's very important to me. And then also I have a 19-year-old in college, and to make sure that I can support him for the next 4 years and make sure that that college bill is paid without me stressing about it. So that's my why for right now.
Awesome wise. Awesome wise. Dion, what's your why, Dion? I'm gonna ask you directly, girl. What makes you do what you do?
Well, honey, first of all, my why is because I feel like it's so many of us that have not had the opportunity to build a legacy for their family. You know, that's just a passion of mine. I feel like so many people feel like they can't do it. And we all can if we just put in the efforts and the, you know, we put in efforts for other people in their jobs and the businesses that they own, and they pay us, you know, what they pay us, right? But then we're not willing to put in the same efforts for our own business. So my why is, number one, I want to build a legacy for my family, and I'm trying to leave them money that really goes on for generation and generation. Number two, I just have a soft spot for seeing people be successful.
Yes, you do.
You know, and so that's my passion. And I feel like if I feel like this is really where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be at this point in my life. And so I'm just gonna pursue every moment, okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Awesome wise. Anybody else before we move on to the whole exercise, really? And we're gonna only probably, Dion, what's our time frame until 7:30?
We stop at 8. It's just an hour.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we probably will have to do a part two, because you know this normally takes about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes for this exercise, but we'll knock out the first half.
Okay, you want me to
Um,
share?
Yep, if you have it up, let's share the screen.
Share.
I'm telling you guys that when I was introduced to this concept of the business, in terms of goal setting, it changed my life. And I think you'll see when we finish this that it's very unique. It's very different than many of the goal setting systems that you'll come across as you grow in this business. It's super different. So we're going to start with the very top. Can everybody see Dion's screen?
Is there any way you can put this in the chat so we can print it off?
Yes.
Thank you.
So the very first category, I want you to just even glance at the categories first. They're very unique. And so you see recreation, personal growth, business growth, living expenses, debt reduction, mind to keep, and family legacy, right? And then keep going down. That's the total. You're going to add to everything you want to accomplish, taxes and the cost of doing business as well, right? So we're going to start at the very top. Recreation. Recreation means vacations, holiday celebrations, and hobbies. What is key on this sheet is if you scan to the far right, you'll see the last two columns. And one column says monthly cost, and one column says annual cost. And so when you look at recreation in the next 12 months from tomorrow, for the next 365 days, what do you want to accomplish in real estate? What do you want that income to cover for the next 12 days? I mean, 12 months. I don't mean what do you have in your bank? I mean, what would you like for your real estate income to allow you to do in the next 365 days in the areas of recreation? So when we talk about vacations, for me, I always have a goal of taking a minimum of 2 1-week vacations with my family and 4 3 to 4 day trips with sometimes family, maybe me by myself, maybe my girlfriends. I just came from a girls trip. We had a ball at Margaritaville. It was so much fun. So you think about itemized column, how much is that going to cost? So think about the vacations that you want your real estate income to take you on in the next 365 days. Is it a vacation? Do you want to go to Dubai? How much is that going to cost you? Do you just want to go to, it could be something as simple as, KJ, I haven't been on a vacation in 12 years. I just want to go to Savannah. Shoot, can I get out of Metro Atlanta? Can I get out of Metro Chicago? Wherever you live, I don't know where you all live. But whatever you estimate that cost to be, you put it in the itemized column. And mind you, that's not what you want to accomplish forever. That's just what you want your real estate income to accomplish for you in the next 365 days. Holidays. Holidays are a big thing for me and my family. Some people don't celebrate holidays. I grew up in a household where holidays were everything for my mother. She was a huge cooker, loved to entertain. So holidays were never inexpensive for our family. So here come me. I'm the same way. We overspend every holiday. So my budget might be higher than some people's because I always entertain. Everyone comes to my house on Christmas. Everyone comes to my house on Thanksgiving. Everyone comes to my house on Easter, Labor Day, Memorial Day. Lord have mercy. So I have to have a pretty good budget. I know, right? For 365 days of doing that, I have to have a pretty sizable budget. So under itemized costs, I put that in there. Celebrations. Are you a person or a family that celebrates everyone's birthdays individually? It could be wedding anniversaries coming up. It could be anything. Hobbies. Do you play golf? Do you play tennis? Do you just absolutely love shoes? Do you love dresses? Dion, I think I hit about 2 of them for you already.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Dresses and shoes, girl. Do you like? But Dion likes to travel. Dion likes, she's living a good life, right? And so what are the things that you would deem a hobby? Something that brings you joy. It's not necessarily a necessity, but you want your real estate income to accomplish this for you in the next 12 months. Mind you, I don't even have my glasses, don't know where they are, y'all. So the next column says, the next row is personal growth. But check out what the real definition of personal growth, and the gentleman that taught us this is a phenomenal gentleman, and he really digs in deep. Like he took an entire day to teach us about personal growth. But in lieu of time, we'll take an entire minute, basically. So personal growth is something that we grow when we make someone else feel good. What did Dion say one of her driving forces is for even putting this meeting together tonight? She feels great when somebody else wins, right? When she can help other people win, Dion is actually growing. And so personal growth is when you give to others. Tithing, you may be a tither at your church. You may just be a giver to different foundations and causes in your community. When you improve your home, you feel good, therefore you grow. When you are prepared for your children's education, someone, I think it was Danielle, said her son is in college. And so she's growing because her son is growing. She's giving to him. What do you want your real estate income to accomplish in all of these areas in the next 12 months? That's what you're going to put in this column. Then business growth. Business growth, you guys, if you are not earning, if you're not learning, you're not earning. And our business is ever changing. And I think you can see that because you guys are coming in at a time when the market is actually shifting, right? And it's shifting in about 3 different ways, in 3 different layers. The commercial market is shifting in one way. The residential market is shifting in another. And then the real estate investment platform is shifting as well. And so, and they're not all shifting alike. You're seeing different measurements change when you change genres of real estate. How would I know that if I didn't sit on a seminar? I sound like I'm so smart, right? I just sat on a seminar Friday. I'm an information junkie, right? And they broke down the matrix. They showed us the numbers. They showed us what to expect in the next quarter, the next year, the next 24 months. You've got to invest in yourself. I am leaving on Tuesday to go to the National Association of Real Estate Brokers 75th convention in Tampa. It's not free. The registration costs money, the hotels cost money, the plane ticket, but guess what I'm gonna get from going to this conference? Training like no other training. The agenda is phenomenal. The people that you meet, you're there with 1,000 people that you don't usually get to see but once or twice a year. I already, from being on that Hoover app, listen, Dion, I already got 2 referrals, one from Tampa and one from a girl in Detroit. Just from being on the app. I hadn't even touched ground in Tampa yet, right? So that's an investment. This conference might cost me in total $1,500, depending on if I go shopping and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, y'all, I've already made that back with 1 referral, right? So you've got to invest in yourself. Now, you've got to have modern day technology. Everything in our industry has gone digital. And if you're in the old school paper, pen, and notepad phase, you'll get left behind. I used to say you might. I don't say might anymore. You'll get left behind. It is a digital industry now. Every single, literally, just 3 years ago, National Association of Realtors said that 78% of buyers started online. In 3 years, they bumped that number up to 94.6% of all buyers start online. I just read that the other day, and I was amazed at how fast things change. So that means you've got to have an up-to-date computer. You've got to have fast internet. We've got to have hotspots. Because you got to be able to make it do what it don't, honey. When somebody calls you and says that they want to put an offer in, you and your team have to be prepared, right? So you may have to invest in yourself, but you want that real estate income to pay for that. So what is it that you need to do in the next 12 months in the area of business growth? Living expenses. I used to say, well, that's a given. But what I found out is a lot of people don't even know what their monthly living expenses are. They don't live by a budget. They don't have anything written down. The only thing they could tell you is what their rent or their mortgage amount is, but they really can't tell you like that what their average monthly outlay is for living expenses. So this is important because we are business owners now. Everybody on this call is a business owner. And when you're a business owner, you know that the economy is cyclical, which means our income could be cyclical. It could go up and it can go down. There are things that we can do to control it, but there are some things that's beyond our control. I don't know if anybody was on this call during 9/11. 9/11 shut the party down. I don't know if anybody was on this in this industry back during the foreclosure crisis. You want to talk about people losing everything they own. If they were not prepared and didn't have savings and investments in place, they were wiped out, right? So we've got to understand what we have to pay every month, from utilities to food to insurances. You put that on that line. What am I needing my income to pay every month for my living expenses? Debt reduction. What debt do you want to accelerate? Do you have a lot of credit card debt? Do you have car notes? Do you have, student loans? Do you have personal loans? What kind of debt would you like in the next 12 months, mind you? So let's say you owe $55,000 on your Mercedes truck. I'm thinking big, y'all, because I don't have one. But it's because I only want a paid off car. Dion, we talk about this all the time. But let's say you do have a car finance and it is your goal in the next 2 years to pay that $50,000 car note off. Split it in two. That means in the next 12 months, you want to pay off at least 25,000 of that debt, right? That's what you would put on this line, 25,000 towards my car, right? If you had student loans and it was 18,000, I just want to be done with it, 18,000 is on that line. It could be 1,800. It could be, I just want to pay off $800 on my credit card. Whatever the amount is that you want your real estate income to accomplish for you in the next 365 days, that's what you put under debt reduction. So mine to keep. Notice something special about the description there. And like I said, we're going quickly over something that can take it's literally a whole day seminar. Deposit money that simply cannot be touched under any circumstance. So this is your emergency money. So remember at the top of this conversation, I said there are people that you need to sit down and talk with, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your significant other, whether it's a brother, sister, mother, kids. You all have to decide, how much money do we really need that we can touch for an emergency? Do we need 6 months? And so if you listen to any of the financial experts out there, Susan, what's her name? Susie Orman and all these people, they no longer tell people to only save 3 months. They're not even telling people to only have liquid 6 months. They've changed that to 9 to 12 months of your monthly expenses you should be able to get your hands on in case of an emergency now. And so how much of your real estate income do you want to go towards mine to keep? And then the second part to that is family legacy. Now, this is what you really don't touch, right? But this is more of an investment. So it could be, this is where your money makes more money. So do you guys get the difference between these two categories? One is like an emergency fund, but the other one is where your money is making money. And so it could be real estate properties. It could be anything. It could be an investment fund. It could be stocks, bonds. Nowadays, people are investing in NFTs and cryptocurrency. What are the things that you want to invest in that is going to continue to make money for you and your family for generations to come, as Dion talked about? That would go in there. And I don't mean if you're saying to yourself, I want $10 million worth of investments in a trust for my kids in the future. I don't mean that you have to have the goal of doing that in 365 days, but how much do you want to put towards it? Could it be, I want to buy my first rental property? What's that going to cost you out of pocket? And Dion, I know she's going to dive into a lot of these topics, and you'll learn that many of us use other people's money to accomplish building our heritage. And that's something real deep. So we'll get into that, another time. But it could be that all you need is 4 or 5% out of your pocket to buy your first rental property. So is that your goal, to have your real estate income give you enough to add $5,000 towards your family legacy category? whatever it is you want to put there, however big you want to think, however conservative you are, that's the number that you'll put there. And so as you can see, you will take those numbers and you'll add all of them up and you'll see there'll be a subtotal down there. But then here comes old nasty Uncle Sam knocking on the door, right? Hey, where is my money? I saw you made all that money. And so what we do is we add for business expenses, which could be commission splits, buying signs, lock boxes, gas in your car, paying somebody to open a door, whatever your business expenses are, and taxes, we estimate, and I got this from a few different CPAs, about 28%. And so you add that 28% to that number that you wanted to achieve. And that comes down to what? The total targeted income. This is a fun exercise and it really makes you think. And you need to do it for yourself first, and then take that same sheet and go to your spouse or your significant other or whoever is a decision maker with you in your life and say, hey, this is what I want to accomplish. So do you see something that's off track? But I'm saying I want to accomplish this with my real estate income that I'm making in the next 12 months. Do you think there's something else that I should be adding? Or is there something that you had already, stashed away that I have on here and I don't have to have on here? This is a significant conversation. And this is something that most partners would be happy to sit down and talk to you about. This is important because Deanna is going to slide up to the next page and you're going to see why this is so important. So does anybody have questions first before we jump into the next part?
I don't.
All right. And so what Deanna is sharing with you is why this is so important. So how will I achieve the goal of earning my targeted income? This is important. So the average sales price of a home in the area that you specialize in, or if you're a commercial tenant rep, the average price of a lease that you may represent. If you're somebody in commercial real estate, the average cost of sales price of a transaction, you would put on that first line. And then, even though 3%, we can't set commissions, that's the typical commissions that we get paid nowadays. So you take 3% times that average sales price. So in Metro Atlanta, who can tell me, well, first of all, Dion, is everybody in Metro Atlanta or are we from all over the country?
Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if everybody is on the call in Metro Atlanta. Can you guys drop in the chat where you guys are from? Let's see what we got here.
I can't see, girl. I don't have my glasses.
That's okay. I got you. Metro Atlanta, Gwinnett. So I got 3 responses, but so far,
Atlanta.
Yeah, so everybody's from Atlanta.
Cool beans, cool beans. So our average sales price has skyrocketed in the last 18 months. And so you need to look up, and let me tell you how you can do this. You can go to FMLS or MLS and go to market statistics or market report. And I saw somebody put Gwinnett and Grayson. I was squinting good enough to see that, boy, I tell you. So go in and look at Gwinnett County and find out what in the last 12 months, what your average sales price has been. And some people look at last 6 months, but you can look at what your average sales price is and you can use that if you don't have a long track record. For those of us who've already been in the business, I usually say to them, look at your last 12 months of transactions, and then look at the areas that you're targeting and come up with a sensible average sales price. Multiply that times 3%, and then that's going to give you your average gross commission. Now you go back to that first page and you add your total targeted income to this second page, right? And all what we're gonna do On this second page is figure out how many people we need to contact, how often we're going to actually use whatever method we desire and works for us to be in contact with these people in order to reach our total targeted income. What I'll say about this is when we have time to really dig into this second page, Dion, and you know how to do that so you can guide them through it,
Right.
you're going to be shocked at how easy it is to be someone that makes 150, 350, even $500,000 a year. Just a little time blocking and a little discipline. And I do mean a little. It's not even that many hours a week will get you there to accomplishing your total targeted income. So there are a few things on this in this formula that I want to explain to you. If we jump down to number 2, and it says, put in the number of closed transactions that you need to close. So, so let me go back to 1. I'm sorry, I didn't even talk about that. I'm skipping around. So remember that total targeted income. I'm going to use round numbers to make it easy. So if it was $100,000, right? You take that $100,000 and divide it by the average gross commission earned. So what if your average gross commission was $10,000, right? So what is 100,000 divided by 10,000? Nobody's gonna be brave and say, but it's 10 transactions. So that means, y'all, in order, if your average commission was $100,000, and that's gross commission, because mind you, we added taxes and we added taxes and we added the cost of doing business to our total targeted income already. So if our average gross commission was $10,000, right? What is that, Dion? About a help me out, about a $350,000 house?
Yeah.
About 350.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
About 350,000 average. That means you only have to close 10 of them, y'all, to achieve that average gross commission, to achieve that $100,000. Did y'all hear me? That is not even one transaction a month. You are with the guru. She's gonna have you closing 3, 5, 6, 7. Dion has people on her team killing it. I won't even get into what Charlene is doing. We've got people closing 60, 80, 100 transactions a year. I'm telling you that if your average sales price of a deal that you close is $350,000, that you literally can make $100,000 in the next 12 months with your real estate income by closing 10 transactions. That's nothing. That's nothing, y'all, I'm telling you. So how would I get there, Karen? So go to line number 2. The number of closed transactions is only 10 for this scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take 10 and multiply it times 50. Why did I use this mystical number 50? Because it's been said, and it's been proven true, that for every 50 people that you do not know, never met, they're considered cold leads, that you talk to and they become a prospect, you will get 1 closed transaction from every 50 people. But who on this phone call can tell me what a prospect is? What is a prospect? Who can tell me that?
Someone that could possibly turn into a client, that you it's a word that I'm looking for, but basically someone that you nurture to try to turn them into a client.
I like that. So someone that you're nurturing, and that's part of it. I'm looking for something real specific. What would make that person you're trying to nurture a prospect? It's something that's magical, boy. I'm telling you. It's so simple, but it's magic in it, Dion. What makes it a prospect? Dion, you want to tell them what makes the folks a prospect?
Yes, I want to tell them. So your prospect is going to be somebody that you have captured their information from, their phone number, their name. You know, you need to be able to reach back out to them. So their email address, that's going to be your prospect.
Absolutely. So I have people make this mistake all the time. Well, Karen, I went to an event and I passed out over probably 100 of my cards. And I always say, that's great. But did you get anybody's cards? Did you get anybody's information? How many cell phone numbers did you get? How many? Oh, I didn't get any. Well, girl, you spent 3 hours and you have 0 prospects. How do you know what they're going to do with the business card? They're not your prospect unless you can follow up with them. And the only way to follow up is exactly what Dion said: name, phone number, and email address. That's really, really important, you guys. So this says, in our scenario, remember, we wanted to achieve $100,000 in the next 12 months. And we needed to do that by closing 10 transactions, which means we have to touch 500 people. So over the next 12 months, we've got to create 500 prospects. So you take that number 500, and then you look at your calendar and you say, over the next 12 months, how many weeks in that year am I actually going to prospect? Am I actually going to lead gen? Am I actually going to email, text, call? How many weeks out of that year? I hear people always say 52, and I'm like, you're telling a story. One of those weeks, you're going to have a cold. Another one of those weeks, remember, we put in some vacation time, right? Remember, for me, I love what? Holidays. I ain't prospecting on a holiday week. I'm sorry, I'm just not going to do it. Some people will, but I'm not. So for me, my magic number is 42 weeks. Others, most people are somewhere around 46 to 48 weeks is what you see them put down there, because they know that every single week they're not going to prospect, right? Because remember, there are other tasks that you have to complete as a real estate professional to give them white glove service. And you'll get into that later. But at the very least, let's say that we're going to do 42 weeks out the year. Now, how many days in those weeks am I willing to time block 2 hours in that day to actually prospecting? That means either texting, communicating with people, calling, literally picking up the phone, or emailing in a conversation with somebody. How many days? Some people say 7. I call, here I go, I throw the red flag up again. I don't know very many people who can prospect 7 days a week. You will be burnt out. But there are some prospecting machines out here, and I ran into them, and I just don't know how they operate. That's not my personality, as you can tell, right? But would you say 2 to 3 days a week would be fair? I think that's fair. So we said we were going to prospect 42 weeks times 2 days a week. So that's 84 days out the year that we are committed. That's the key. You see that word? Committed to actually prospecting to call or touch those 500 people, right? So 84 days, we go down to this last section and we put the number of prospects that we need to touch. That was 500, remember? Divide that by 84. Who has their calculator up? Because I'm on my phone. That's normally my calculator. So 500 people divided by 84 days.
$5.95.
6 people. So every time, those 2 days a week for 42 weeks out the year, if you touch 6 people, you will make $100,000 in real estate a year. Now, who's shocked by that?
Me.
So everybody on here.
Right.
It does take discipline. You do need to time block. You do have to have a system in place to capture the information, but you're going to learn all of that from Dion. And she's going to break it down and make it so simple, you guys. But take that number. What if this same person said, well, hold up, that's kind of easy. I want to do 4 days a week instead of 2. Guess what? They're going to make $200,000 because they're going to touch more people. It just goes on and on. And then what if you maximize your time and say, well, I want to touch even more people. hire an assistant that can do calling for you too. You see how this goes? Now that 200,000 went to 400,000 to 800,000. That's how people are making over $1 million a year in real estate commissions. It's all about being disciplined and doing what, Dion?
And consistently following up and working.
Prospecting. That's it, y'all. It's just not hard. But it starts with understanding why you're doing this. Why are you in this income? What do you want your income to do for you and your family in the next 12 months? And now, how can I get there?
Right.
Well, I thank you so much, Dion, for having me on this call. You know, I get passionate about this
You
thing.
girl, look, every time you talk about this, I get to start all over again. I'll be like, dang, I need to do my numbers again.
And they change, and that's what I want you guys to know. Just keep printing this thing out and redoing it. They change. And especially if you start getting good at prospecting, and it's like taking candy from a baby, and you just on the phone popping and locking. Because some people, some of y'all on this call are going to fall in love with prospecting. And it's going to be nothing. You're going to have so many leads, you're going to be trying to give it away to people, right? No, you're going to figure out how to maximize that. But anyway, with all of that said, the next thing you know, you're going to change this and say, well, you know what? I said I was only going to pay off one credit card. It looks like I could probably do better than that. I want to get rid of all my debt this year. And it's going to keep changing and changing and changing. And that's fine, because that means you're growing. But thank you guys. I'm Karen. I love Dion. You guys are in the right place at the right time to be achievers and successful. And Dion, thank you so much.
I thank you. I really, really appreciate you coming on and sharing this information. Did you guys learn anything from Karen? Y'all.
Yes. Thank you,
Yes.
Karen. I'm gonna
Yes,
be popping
Karen
and
was
locking.
awesome.
I like that. I like that phrase.
They said they're gonna be popping and locking, Karen.
Popping and locking.
Popping and locking, girl. You know, you can tell I'm an 80s baby. I grew up in high school. I was in the 80s, child. Popping and locking.
Well, thank you again, Karen. We're not gonna hold you. Well, we're probably at our time anyway. Let's see what time it is. Oh yes, woo, we did good. We like 4 minutes before. That was awesome. You went.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Sorry. When you said, as far as when you mentioned MLS and FMLS, did you say it was market statistics and market reports?
I don't, you know, I can't remember exactly what that tab says, but just look in FMLS and MLS. And when you go on the drop down, you'll see where they give you market statistics, and you can find out what your average sales price is in your targeted area.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And Karen, I know I said I can share that in here, but I have no clue how to do that. I said, yeah, I can share it in the chat.
You probably have to email it, have everybody drop their email address to you, girl.
Oh yes, Lord, I need
I don't know how to do that in the chat either. I think you have to turn it into a shareable link.
Okay.
And that's a whole lot. I
Like
think
a PDF. I can put it into a PDF, can I? Like download it as a PDF and then do it that way. So yeah, y'all have to drop your email address to on here for me. Drop your email address on here so that I can send it over to you guys. But I hope you guys really understood the importance of what Karen just shared with you guys. And I think that this kind of ties in our last couple of weeks. And I hate so many people missed the call today, because boy, I was hoping everybody be on here, you know, but they missed it. You know, it is what it is. You got to be here to get what you get, right? So I do appreciate you taking out the time, Karen. You know, I love you, baby. You are almost there. No, and I'm gonna hate to say this, but I'm gonna have you to come back on my team training, please, because we need to finish our second quarter. I already told them this, you know, we got to do the second quarter. I mean, not the second quarter, but the second half. And I need them to do this again and revisit to make sure that they made, made their numbers. So, and we on that.
Let's do a combined duo team. We'll put our teams together for it, because my team needs it too. Well, thank you.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure.
Right. Thank you, darling. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you guys see why I thought that this was very important to be on here and get that information that Karen had to share, because I want you to know exactly what you are doing and what you need to do in order to get there. Sometimes we dive in deep and we thinking, well, you know what? I want to go, I'm going moving fast forward, and you don't have anything in place, no goals, no strategies on how you're going to get where you need to be. And so I think that this tool is so very important because now you got something to target. Now you have a number that you need to target. Think about it. It really is not hard to get 10 deals, but how many of you guys know what the average agent, how many deals they do a year? Do anybody know that? What the average agent? Tell me, guys.
One or two.
One or two. Okay, who else? Anybody else have anything else?
5 or 6.
All right,
Yeah.
that's about it. About 5 or
Yeah.
6 deals a year. That's the average agent. You know that it's millions of agents out there, and you don't want to be average. Now, average is good if that's what you choose. That's what you want, right? But if you want to make enough that's going to give the income that you are looking for, then you can't be average. Unless you're gonna be in $1 million price, and that's cool. If that's what you choose in luxury, then that's cool, right? You can still do what you do. But I want to make sure that you guys understand what your market is, what goal you need to target, and how you're going to get there. Okay. So it's 8 o'clock, y'all, and I'm glad you guys joined me today, and Karen, and I'm glad you guys got some valuable information. I do want to invite you guys to, I don't know, tell me, what company are you guys with? Is everybody, I don't know what company you guys are with. I think I know Danielle, I know what your company you're with. But what company are you guys with right now? Drop it.
I'm with EXP.
Yeah.
Oh, you're with EXP. Are you with, you're with whose team?
Tanzania, she's my mentor.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, cool. So
I'm with EXP as well.
you're with EXP too. Whose team are you on?
I'm under April Carter, under Nikki.
Under Nikki. Okay, cool. Well, you guys are under the right people, so y'all already know. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what y'all need to do. Y'all just need to get out there and really start going and implementing, and that's the biggest thing. Just learning the steps that you need and just going out there and then start implementing what you learn. So you guys are under some great leadership. You guys just got to go in at it and start driving in deep and start doing what you do. So I think I'm going to still do the new agents night. However, I may not do them every Sunday. I did them for three Sundays in a row. I think what I'm going to do is do them 2 Sundays a month. And I have all you guys' information. And what I'm going to do is email everybody with the next date. It won't be next Sunday, but I think it'll be the Sunday after. And I'll email you guys with the information. And y'all come on. We're going to just share some more information. All
That
right.
still works.
Good.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a very good evening. Y'all enjoy y'all Sunday. Y'all get some rest and y'all go full force in the morning. Y'all have a good day.
You too.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.
Y'all.